Hi, hello, and welcome to some counselorship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Below-C. I'll be your oracle today. If anything I say resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope this is under 50 minutes. If not, it's spiritual counsel, not oracle counsel. We're going to do some ODIF, which is readings on agents of darkness and fuckery. There's an attack coming in. I enshrine the energy. We'll use it to our advantage. If the devil's gonna try to play, might as well use them as fuel. If a hoe's gonna be a hoe, might as well put them to work, make $1 at it. So the energy that I got already, because they push through with the Two of Cups. So that's the energy of the Chariot and the Empress. Typically, that's somebody trying to use love or relationships to get their needs met. They may be making a move or preparing to make a move with the Chariot to ingratiate themselves, or I just heard the word exploit or extrapolate. So move backwards through the line of delineation in a relationship or degrees of connection, or they may be trying to concoct something. I'm getting some understanding energy information on somebody that's been attacking. Attack is a multitudinous word. Striking against or striking down because the initial motive was unmet or denied. So somebody's been doing some attacking and it wasn't working. So I'm getting the number 7. It could be 7 times, 7 months, the month of 7, which is July. Or Libra, because that's the 7th sign of the zodiac. It could also be that it's been for 7 years, or there's a 7-year age difference, or that the difference between rank is 7. That means one person might have been downgraded to a Tasinoga, or just a basic level initiate. Okay. Okay. So where I'm at your protocols right now, intuition's telling me to get something. So that's the thing, when somebody's attacking and it's not working, and then, if you can't beat them, join them kind of deal. So they weasel the way back, trying to, I don't understand that. Once a hoe, I was a hoe. Once a hitter, I was a hitter. You could do whatever, be however stupid and unrefined and inelegant as you want. But if there was malice or deception, hoe, I don't know why you think you got standing in the places that you tried to burn down when you left, especially if you shit all over everybody on the way out. I don't understand. I don't understand. But I had the Tower and the Hermit, and then the Two of Cups pushed through. When I leaned into the Two of Cups, 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles came with the Two of Cups, so that they have orchestration machinations. They want a piece of the pie. And that's a no, honey. If you come in with toxic, malignant fuckery, what happens is you get booted. Now, the thing about a person with their dark, stank-faced energy is that they're going to boot themselves. So that's the thing with people scooting, teetering between the lines of good and darkness. A lot of people want to prove points, but when you're all the way on the light or you're all the way on the dark, energy will speak for itself. People will be attracted or repelled according to what's alive inside. So this is an orchestrator with the Hierophant there. You see how they're like lording over, speaking over, presiding over worlds here. Somebody wants a piece of the pie and they're looking for a way in. So that means that there's some kind of entitlement. ODIS, it's an acronym for operators. We call it agents of destruction, agents of darkness. I say ODIF, which is agents of darkness and fuckery. So let's see they want to bring an in, bring something down, or if they can't get in. But I'm just getting it. This little hoe wants to be, I'm hearing the word bichiku. So I'm using a lot of words that are kind of insider words. So this is a person that wants you to think that they're nice, loving, caring, kind, compassionate, generous, and they're really evil and diabolical, but they'll use little tactics to soothe, abate, distract. So they might have a knife behind their back that's just smiling to your face, you know. Yeah, orchestrations, machinations. And their strategy is to utilize love, collaborate through love, when really they're just trying to control things, you know. The Six of Pentacles is the moon in Taurus. So the Six of Pentacles is the energy of the High Priestess with the Hierophant card. That's somebody that has sacred wisdom, access to mysteries, they have insider knowledge. Let's go back to the significators for this deck, which is the Hermit and the Tower, of course, if I'm around. But here, yeah, so this is a person that is worried about being exposed soon. And they do have genius level knowledge with the Sun card and the Hangman, but something's ending. The withdrawal or the pending withdrawal has actually evolved into attachment, which means their floor is gonna, the floor is gonna fall out from underneath them. So let's have a look here and see what and why. So I was gonna say the Hangman, which we have out here, the Hermit, l'ermitia el sole, the Hermit and the Sun. When those two come out together, it talks about material abundance. It also talks about somebody that is made up of a specific energy. That's where their soul resides. So our soul, it's what the ground shakes. So this is disturbing to them. Our soul is made up of purity. It's not even the moon. It's the sun. So it's not even the lower planes of the astral. It is the pure, divine, blissful beings, exalted, ascended beings. Okay, and they're being carted off to the swamp to face judgment because they are diabolical, is what I'm hearing, but they can't stop fighting. And some of the things about them need to come to light. I don't know what that is. So before we jump in here, before we get in here, why don't we just go ahead and see a little few things. Unsen Matsen, Unsmats. One more time. Yeah, so they're gonna stop at nothing to see something get torn down. That's literally their intention. They're gonna stop at nothing to see something get torn down. And even if there's consequences, key core competency is what I'm hearing. So there's some deep competence, there's some deep consequences that are coming because they have insider knowledge or some kind of esteemed expertise. So when they do get looked at, it's going to be dire. It's going to be rather severe because this is not an accidental thing on their end. And I keep hearing one more time. So they keep trying. They're unable to accept that their strategy, their tactum, it's insufficient. See, the thing about it is like the devil or a dark agent, they really feel like they have superiority because they're a reader of people. But the thing is, sometimes you come across a really good soul and they'll appear weak, meek, they'll appear innocent, ignorant. They may be some abstract version of those adjectives, but there's a light in them that, see, because light upsets demons. So when you look at them, you actually see their light. They're not material like most people. They're a material vessel and they're spiritual being in a material vessel. They're a spirit, a divine one inside of a human body. So you're looking at them, you're seeing their light, and the light is forcing you to confront your own shadows. Like for me, for instance, I have sun in the 8th house. People think they know me all the time. And people get into issues with me all the time because they come towards me with expectations. But sun in the 8th house, first of all, the 8th house is a mirror. Sun in the 8th house in Cancer, okay, with Venus and Mercury and some other things too. So to see me is to see your reflection staring back. It's not, you need to see the surface, which is a mirror, okay? So a lot of times there's projection. 8th house again is projection. Okay. It's also, you can't make it through that area. You can't pass that test unless you've done fear and ego medicine. So that just, it clobbers, it decimates 98% of people, 97% of people without even trying. And it's not a toot, that's not what I'm doing. These are things that I barely understand. It's really more, think about how easy it is to go wrong, because you basically, that means you choose the wrong victim. So this is somebody who has found it pleasurable to target somebody, and they keep losing because they've, first of all, mischosen their target. They misperceive, mislevel, they misperceive, mislabel, mistake, misjudge their victim, their target. And they double down and triple down and quadruple down, and they've doubled down the 20th time now. So it's like they've woven into their own demise a deeper, more severe punishment. So here we are thinking like, okay, well, I have the strength to keep going. Am I gonna do that? And see, this strength is enduring, it's everlasting. So this is a person, the good one, the one who's not an agent of darkness, who just transmutes anything that they're going through. And the enemy is thinking like, oh, I'm gonna bury you. Well, okay, ho, you did manage to bury me, but I'm not some piece of shit, I'm a seed. So if you bury me, I'm just gonna come up as a tree. And I would have never even thought of becoming a tree, but now I have roots and sturdiness. And the symbology of a tree is some kind of lifelong abundance. Oh, you're just gonna put me under all this pressure. Okay, well, I thought I was a piece of shit, but it actually turns out I was a speck of carbon. And guess what happens when you put carbon under pressure? It comes out a diamond. You know what I mean? So this person is delighting in whatever they're doing. Whatever they're doing makes them happy. And they're not realizing that they're setting us up for greatness. We were always destined for greatness, but it's going to come in now at a level, at a height bigger than what we had imagined. Okay. So they're glib in their destruction, they're glib in their attacks, they're glib in what they perceive. Nine of Cups tower, they're glib, they're sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I did this to you, la da da da. Okay. They really are not understanding that the divine is at play with the hangman here. They're really not understanding that we keep being guided through the situation by God themselves. So go on, ho. You're just gonna illuminate and enlighten the depths of my soul, which is very divine. So yeah, what I'm getting here, because I'm hearing a song come through, we were never informed and instructed that a game was afoot. So we didn't know the players, we didn't know the rules, we didn't know the objective of the game. We didn't even know that we were playing in an arena. So there was some kind of harm that we were exposed to, that just because we didn't know. Can you give me a minute, dear? And then a player did come along and kind of do like a false something. So kind of told you half of the truth, kind of told you half of the rules, put us on something, put on something on us to confuse us. So the thing about it is like we rescue people, but what we don't understand is that we have the Midas touch. So people are asking to be rescued because they're fallen. They no longer have access to. They no longer have access to the golden kingdom. So they're disconnected from source energy. And they're upset because they feel like they're being denied, but they're not coming out and directly asking. This happens to me a lot too, especially with females. They want to fuck, or whatever that looks like. And whether I'm going to throw them some D or not, they just don't come directly. You know, flirting doesn't work with me. Seducing doesn't work with me. I don't even like fun. I don't even like comedy. You can't ingratiate yourself to me. You can't get me to warm up. You got to come just straightforward and tell me what you want. You can barely impress me. The only thing any external energy can make me feel is agitation and boredom. Okay, so it's better if you just tell me what you want, because then I can say yay or nay, or I'll ask you the questions that are relevant to me. And here's the secret. You'll only get the questions that are relevant to me in that moment. You might come and engage me in dialogue thinking that it's going to inform you of how to work with me in the future. So that's also, I don't know where this is coming from. I'm trying to figure that out. The word that I'm getting is femme fatale, but that, oh, okay. Well, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, now I understand. Okay. Okay, so this person is walking through, oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this person doesn't have love. They've been locked out of the divine kingdom. They're exploitative, okay? They use their form, they use their love, they use their figure, they use their stature, whatever, to exploit, to seize upon, to infiltrate. They're lacking any type of sensuality, love, or whatever. And if they do have sensuality, it's hedonistic. So they may be abusing physical forms or physical nature or even power, like strength over other people. And they're not expressing things through wisdom. They're utilizing wisdom to take. And it's a mother figure. So, you know, male or female, mothers are nurturing versus, you know, a mother would guide, a mother would develop versus lead, motivate, direct, command, right? And sometimes we grow out of control, which can just be caring. You know, some people, they need to nurture, and when you're no longer interested in nurturing them or being nurtured by them, they have an issue. I've been experiencing this lately as well. Somebody could see that I'm struggling with something or just sustained a wound, and they're going to come in to try to soothe, and I'm like, I'd rather just sit in my feelings, good and bad, or otherwise I don't need soothing. I didn't even ask for your opinion. Would you mind giving me space? And they're upset because I don't want soothing, because I don't want you to try to make me feel better, because I don't want you hovering around, buzzing around with your unsolicited advice. And they're offended by a boundary that I just set. I said I'd rather be alone in my wounds. It's just an experience. I'm processing my experience. You know, oh, if you don't want to deal with your, oh, I just said, leave me alone to deal with this. You know what I mean? So they have this little, a lot of people get things out of nurturing people. They typically get a leg up information in order to control at another time, but also, well, here it says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life, but in its shadow, it's smothering or abandoning. Children are those you claim to help, instilling guilt when children, those you choose to help, become independent. It's the dark mother archetype. The knight here, see, knights are looking to gain a leg up, typically in terms of love, honor. They may be initiated into a house, into a court, into some type of society. So they just got what's called introductory privileges. They just got, they might have a copy of a key, but they don't necessarily have a deed to the establishment. Okay, so love, romance, chivalry, love of honor, versus like allegiance to destructive principles. So this kind of person is saying, well, you should. They have all these reasons why you should be feeling obligated to act or do or allow certain things. You know, I'm getting that it's because they use victimization or, so that could be a covert thing, like a covert narcissist, which is in the ballpark of vulnerable narcissists, but the difference between covert and vulnerable narcissism, the vulnerable has to deal with, are they vulnerable to feedback? Are they vulnerable to critique? You know, some people are infallible. When you say, hey, this is in alignment with my boundaries. Hey, this is in alignment with my standards. Hey, you're missing the bar. You know, you're missing the mark. They can't perceive that they're not better than you or better than everybody else. Okay, so that's the vulnerability. And then we have the covert, overt, which is sometimes people will fight you out in the open, or they'll fight you behind the scenes, and they might be right in front of you fighting you, but they're not open about it. So they may throw their wounds around. They may throw their sadness around, or their hurt, or their perceived harm around. They may be trying to bring you down a couple of notches because you're too secure in the self. Your boundaries or standards are too strong. You don't really, you're not an easy mark, meaning they can't grip you with their little things that they do. Typically they're emotional barbs, right? So we have here victim, playing the victim for a role of positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain or respect, frankly, personal boundaries. And the key, or the intention here, is to prevent us from letting ourselves be victimized or victimizing others. So this person is looking for something. They're out there walking, wandering around the world, typically in places, environments, surrounding us, locations, with people, places, and things. They're looking for something because they're going through an ordeal with their life. Sorry for the squiggles. They're going with an ordeal in their life. God has let them walk around the world, but without something. So they need to awaken. They're in a sunken place, but it's of their own doing. They need to see very clearly why, what, and how their life has fallen to the level that it has. And they lack sufficient judgment. They don't have self-inquiry here. So they offer only destructive criticism, and they misuse business, legal, or criminal, or spiritual authority versus balancing justice and compassion, managing a fair distribution of power. So they're the dark judge archetype right now because they're refusing to do self-examination. Their life itself is a prison sentence, or has become a prison sentence. They need to go inside and seek the answers, but they're pulling from external sources to feed what's alive in them. That hole in their heart, that hole in their soul, is a God-sized hole, and only the divine can fill it. But they're utilizing other people, places, and things to soothe, and that's a temporary. It's not a permanent, and it's definitely not something you can take with you into the next life. Okay, so pioneer. They have this compulsive need to use, compulsive need to go through people to get things, versus passion for doing what has never been done before, which is being a good person. They are chronically a piece of shit because they're the femme fatale vampire archetype, okay? So a vampire uses people to the place of depletion. It could be any domphiric class of demons. Domphir is another word for parasite in the human form, a humanoid form. And there's different classes of domphiric demons. And the most that we know is vampire. Vampiress is the word that I'm getting, but there could be succubus, incubus. There's many other forms. There's like 6 or 7 different forms of chi. Life force, sexual energy, XYZ, LMP. I'm sorry, my brain is not demon oriented right now. So depleting others for psychic survival, chronic complaining, or codependency, versus making us or making you aware that something is draining life force. So we had 2 dark cards come out after the rescuer and before the pioneer, which means it's a corralling mechanism. That's a hidden, it's like when you dig a pit and then you put the branches and the leaves over it so people can fall in, right? It's a trap. And they do it through love. But the femme fatale, oh, I hate this one. So when it needs to be negated significantly, and I need the chakras bigger than green. So we had the green chakra and the yellow chakra. So that's a person that needs you to open up your heart and share your power with them in order to get in and exploit. Okay, so the feminine archetype, or the female fatale, they have some type of quibble or quabble where they reach their hand out and they're inviting you to fight for them or to engage with them. And when you're too independent, or when whatever they're offering you is not something that you're into, they take it offensive on their soul. So they're like, you don't want me because you're too independent. And that's how their brain, how they perceive. But really what it is you're secure in the self, and that threatens them. So they wage war. So inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. This is to highlight the erotic energy of the feminine and open your heart when dependency is rejected. So really they're needy, and instead of saying, hey, I'm in need right now, I'm struggling and I'm figuring out a way to support myself, but right now I would love assistance from you. Oh, okay, great. Here's what I can do, here's what I can't do. This is the line that we're not gonna cross, but we can walk right up until this line here. That's not, they're never going to get that because they don't even open themselves up to that opportunity. They use some kind of means mechanism, some kind of, I'm hearing the words quibble, quabble, qualms, and quips. I don't know what that's about, but that to me is tactics. Okay. All right, so we have some kind of purpose. And this is why we're being attacked, because the reason that we're gifted and the reason they're attacking is because they want to take our gifts or they want to use our gifts. And they're jealous that we have these gifts and that they don't have these gifts, and they think that they're better than us. So they think that they should have our gifts and we shouldn't get anything, or we should have to struggle longer to get these gifts. And they don't realize that we've already been purified in the fire and we came out blissful and blessed. And they went through the fire for 5 seconds and they're hobbled and needy now. That's because they weren't pure and blissful. Okay, so the Avenger, and that's on their side. Yeah, resorting to violence in the name of a cause instead of a desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness. Okay, so this person, it's one of them righteous assholes, but not the right one, not the correct one. You would think they were a Leo, a prideful hoe, a regal hoe, a dignified hoe. They're not. This is coming up. See, there's this God complex in the early degrees of Leo, but it goes all the way into Libra. And the Libra, like when people have Libra and Leo sextile energy, some things come out. Typically, it corrects itself around age 35 onwards. Those are two of the most amazing signs. But when I looked at this energy, I got somebody who comes off like a Leo, but they're really a Libra. So what I said is that's a regal hoe, a dignified hoe, a prideful hoe. Righteous on behalf of society and oneself. Let's go ahead and read that. This person should have did something a while ago, more in the youthful time, earlier time, the early part of whatever trajectory they're on now, and they didn't. And now they keep looking back at who they used to be, what they used to have. The offer they were given by the divine before, it was tainted. And unfortunately, it was tainted because they shit all over it. And they're also looking around at other people who are utilizing that gift better than they did. Not everybody has selfish intentions. Not about, and that's another thing about agents of darkness. They misinterpret other people's motives because their heart is already darkened. And so they assume everybody else has those kind of evil intentions. And they don't understand or get really infuriated when somebody is going down the road and their intentions aren't dark and pure. They don't understand. It makes the person look stupid to them, but the person just has goodness in them. Okay, so the Avenger, it's like an avenging angel, savior, Messiah. This is a hidden Messiah. Yeah, look at a lifelong pattern of defending or representing causes on behalf of others. Shadow Avenger manifests as resorting to violence, attack, from acts of basically they're terrorists. They like to completely destroy places of sanctuary and refuge. That's when they're in the shadow. When they're not in the shadow, they pursue others that are harmful. And the root energy of the Avenger is a need to balance the scales of justice. And they're willing to do it aggressively. So the Avenger is this is an agent of darkness. This is a hoe that resorts to any tactic. Okay. Yeah, so they're glib. They sit there in war and they like it, and that's what they want, and that's what they're going to resort to. Okay. Whew. That's unfortunate, man. Why don't we go ahead and get these cards out here? I'm just making sure the channel stays clean with this. because this is nasty. Yeah, should have been different, but it wasn't different, was it? Same old story from here, John, and so along. Should have all worked out, but it didn't. She should be here now, but she isn't. There's your trouble, there's your trouble. Seeing double. Yeah, so you're seeing everybody else get what you were gifted and blessed with before, but you shit all over your blessings and everybody else is stumbling through them, or so as it appears to you. I'm talking to the perspective of the agent of darkness. So they're doing a double take because everybody else, they're thinking, I would do this with your gift, da 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 da. It's like a person who's arguing with a person who's just gotten a breast reduction. They're like, if I had your rack, I would never. Okay, but you're not walking around doubled over and back pain, and you're not going through your life suffering because you have this burden on your chest. It literally feels like something is weighing you down. And I know I'm not a big fan of body augmentation, la-di-da, but I like people's choice. It's your choice. You know what I mean? So there's something here that we're endowed with as the imperatrice. We're born with it. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. This person wants to get back into our group or our community or our good graces or whatever. So you're fighting, you're waging war behind the scenes and it doesn't work. So you try to come in and apologize. So also I was getting that they're now, instead of sending war energy, they're now sending love energy. Oh, excuse me a second. Empress, Hermit, they're looking very deeply into what we've cultivated so that they can take a role in it. And it's an idea. So that's a temptation for them. We are like bait, temptations to them because they see us living the good life or whatever it is in their opinion. We could be suffering, we could be struggling to make ends meet, and they're over there looking at us like we have it easy. And they are some kind of raging hoe. I'm sorry, I don't know what this is yet. But they think that they can get a fresh start through us. But it's really not. The full card with the double card, that's a new obsession. So they're obsessed with us, unfortunately. And that means they're going to be warring. This is a militant hoe, and this is not usually how this person will come out. I wasn't planning on doing an ODIF reading. You know, I've been in a healing cocoon. I'm really in a delicate place. I'm wanting to be very kind and delicate and pampering of myself. This reading is intense. I'm glad I'm well rested because I can't do this energy. I'm not the hoe for this. So 6 of Cups. So some kind of sanctuary, some kind of refuge, some kind of safe space. It also would talk about having history with this person. We did, okay, definitely have history with this person because they're coming back in with the Knight of Wands, and something's been going on for the last week. They've been trying to get back, so that I think they were attacking us for years or hating on us for years, and it didn't work. They weren't able to tear us down, rip us apart covertly, which is even worse. So now they're going to come overtly trying to create some kind of love situation. And what brought me to the table is I was detecting somebody that was at war with us now doing love spells on us so that their apology would go further. And it would be because we're we are a wish fulfillment for them. They're hoping, wishing, praying on a star for us, number one, and number two, we're exalted, so we're in the position that they want to be in. They look at us as having their dream life, and that's why they're rushing back in. And also, it's because they need safety and sanctuary. They need things to calm down, cool down, become peaceful. You know, they're cleaving. So this is something that they let go of at a previous time with the 6 of Cups and the Knight of Wands, and now they're trying to recapture something that they let go of. That's somebody who doesn't see your potential. You go on and get recognized by somebody else, and now that somebody else wants you, they want you. It is. They're trying to reverse or turn something around that they did before. And this is something that whatever they're attempting, whatever they're trying, they've been doing it for the last 2 months. So I think they've been warring for a long time, but over the last 2 months, they're trying to concoct some kind of love or healing or soothing. Why can't you just come forward and say, hey, I was a hater asshole. My mind was whack. I was on something. I don't know what kind of crack I was smoking. I woke up and I may never be able to repair, but I want you to know that I'm out of that piece of shit thing that I was on, and I may never earn your trust or respect again. I just need to let you know that I understand I was a toxic malignant fuck, and I'm sorry. Sometimes you gotta apologize like that. They're not gonna do it that way. Again, now we have the militant whole energy. Somebody here may be an Aquarian moon. But they have orchestrations, machinations. They have their eyes on whatever stature star card is about to come up. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Now they're looking at each other, so they have some kind of plan to take away our fame, our fortune, our exaltation, or something of that nature. They definitely have a lot of different feelings. They may also be creating illusions, smoke screens. They may be doing some love bombing or some kind of gaslighting. And this is something that's been going on for the last week. They've been raging an emotional war over the last week. They might be going around in the community because the Three of Cups came out right away with the Six of Cups, and now we have the Seven of Cups. So they may be going on around in the family, the community, the whatever, trying to confuse people. And they are able to manifest some kind of plan out of this. This could be an Aquarius rising with the Taurus midheaven as well. This could be a Libra rising with the Capricorn IC, or a Aquarius rising with the Taurus at the bottom of their chart. It's going to be different strokes for different folks. They had some kind of plan. It's working now. It's not going to last very long. And if something happened in the last week, they did this thing. I think they're trying to steal emotional support to go around to people in our life or places where we have sanctuary and refuge. They're trying to cut us off at the pass so that we don't have any refuge. And what that does is it gets us in a panicky space. And that's when they can come forward and attack, because it's like we've come off the mountain. Our vibration is not as high. We're not on our horse. We're not in our defense mechanism. So then we're more accessible. That means that they need to tear us down in order to get their hands on us. That's diabolical. And it's a slow plan, or it's a plan that's been going on for a long time with the Nine of Pentacles. If they're doing any type of energy projection, it would be creeping in slowly. Or if they did gain an advantageous position, it's slipping, but it's been there for a long time. Okay, so it's over. Either they won or they can't get to us anymore. And the situation is a wrap. It's been ending for about 3 months. That's why 2 months ago they started to try to do something, but it was petty. It was really weak and meek. It wasn't going to get them much. And if it did get them anything, it was very short-lived. So they're going to be left to their own devices with the Nine of Pentacles. Whatever cycle is wrapping up with the willow, okay. That means karma is going to come in effect, called the world, the wheel. So whatever wrap up is here, whatever cycle is culminating, they're going to be left to their own devices. And this is what their devices are. Petty, whatever. They're going to be seen as deceptive soon. This is the third seven on their side. So the universe is warning them and they're not getting it. In a week, they're going to be exposed for something, and they're going to turn into a warmonger with the Nine of Wands. They're going to start spitting venom. They're going to resort to tactics. They're going to try to stand on whatever plans that they have in the background. And the thing about it is their plans have been unraveling. Remember I said an Odif reading, this is the agents of darkness and fuckery. It's if you're an operator, you understand, but it's a modified word. It's really Odif. and I call it an Odin or Odif. So agents of darkness and fuckery. This is it. Look at this hoe. See, the thing about this is leaving the Five of Wands, Three of Pentacles, going towards the Queen of Swords. So that's a militant hoe, somebody trying to take something from somebody else. And then it gets doubled down with this. So this is a hidden enemy that's been secretly at war and it's about to be exposed. All the people that they're attacking are going to know that this person is not safe. And they're going to be stuck in this position. They're not going to be able to do anything about it. And I'm sorry, when 2 sevens come out like that, it's a warning from the universe, an alert even. Now we have 2 eights. Okay, so this person's energy is really trying to take over. And it's looking for a space to fill up. They're looking for a space to have their plans work. And they're being iced out. And it's about time. The universe is calling it out. Unfortunately, when these 2 cards come out, it's a wrap. For an occultist doing divination to plan their work, that's a sign to stop doing divination at that time. Nothing else is going to make sense. So that tells me that this person has lost grip of reality. They're too ensnared in their own energy and their own agendas. And we have 7, 8, 9. And then with the will, I call it the will again, with the world and the judgment card, it's a wrap, it's over. The universe is calling something out. And unfortunately, we're crowning this whole situation. So the universe has come to our aid and it's gonna take a full 3 weeks to play out, but we're gonna be sitting pretty. So this person's soul is lost and destroyed unless they find somebody to save them. But that means that this person or this somebody has to walk into this agent of darkness's karma, which means both of them are going to get tainted. So that means that, yeah, okay, the agent of darkness can half their punishment, can half their judgment, karmic judgment. But it means that this other soul, it's like co-signing for a loan that's about to default. Does that make sense? Okay, you might have the funds or whatever, but the bank is no longer willing to extend any more terms. Even if now you can pay according to the terms, the bank has had so much issues during the default, they don't care. It doesn't matter if you can pay whatever, unless you pay the loan off in full and go away and delete the bank's phone number out of your phone. They're still not gonna wanna mess with you. They're never gonna loan more money to you, even if you pay them off in full now. And you're probably not going to pay them off in full. You probably have to find some other fool to come and pay them off. So over the last 2 weeks, this person has found somebody to exploit. They found some kind of sanctuary and refuge. They found a fool to advocate for them. And really what they're doing is repressing this person. They've overtaken this person. They have them confused, pinned down, cordoned off. But unfortunately, karmic justice is here. This person, agent of darkness, is gonna get caught up. I'm sorry, the 8 of Swords and the Justice card, if it's not binding a person, it's arresting them spiritually. And it's going to happen in less than 2 weeks. It's already mounting in the background and they're being judged by the energy they're putting out there. So they're deciding their own punishment. Yeah, and unfortunately it's criminal law and spiritual law. And unfortunately the priestess of heaven had to get involved. So it's like, somebody dropped a dime on this agent of darkness and the person they dropped a dime on them to works in the office of the source of power and it's celestial power. So this person's foundation, they've built a life, they've built a platform, they've built a foundation on fuckery and harm of other people and they're about to be seen. They know somebody informed, somebody in their operation informed And now they're scrambling to get traction, but the situation won't change very much. It's actually cemented in. Yeah, because heaven knows about this. Yeah, God only knows where I'd be without you. So the people that they've been using to further their effery, their fuckery, are starting to figure out that they're in bed with a bad player. Our 5 of Swords. So they might have been depleted, they might have lost. The 5 of Swords as the first card out also talks about a short-lived victory. Now they're holding their ground, meaning they have some kind of position of advantage, but it's slipping with the 8 of Cups. 5 of Swords, 8 of Cups means exile. People are starting to leave. It's like if you say the sky is blue, people are going to go outside and look up just to confirm. And if I say the sky is blue, they're going to be like, what about midnight blue? What about sky blue? Do you really need to nitpick that deeply? And it's fine, but then I'm unclear about what the intention is. We might not be on the same page. Definitely not. They don't want to be on the same page with anybody. They can't take a win-win situation. If they win, but you win as well, it's going to disturb their soul. They need to win and you need to lose, or they're not happy. Okay, that's fine, but that means people are going to leave them behind. They can be like that all they want, but they can be like that alone. And it's already on the way. This is coming. So they're about to be destroyed. Whatever they're doing, however they are, it's done. The jig is up. And in 3 days, it'll all be over. And that's exactly what they deserve. They're going to get what they want, but whatever they're wishing for on others is going to come to them. And they're stuck. There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, it's on the way in 3 days. Whatever they've been hoping, wishing, and praying for is going to happen to them. So they've dug a hole for somebody else, or they've done something to block and sabotage something, and it's over. Everyone is going to be guided through this, guided away from this person. There's some kind of breakthrough in the hands of the collective. So the whole system, structure, foundation that this agent of darkness built, it's over. And I'm hearing that it's a wrap, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. They're going down. So they have access to some space, place that they shouldn't. They made it into some area, environment, surrounding locations, arena. They made it into some area, arena that they shouldn't be in, or that they're misusing and abusing. Okay, so we're wrapping this part up. So we have the Hermit with the 5 of, okay, so the conflict and the pettiness and the hellfire and the conundrum competitions crossing is being investigated. Somebody that left is coming back in to say something or investigate or share something, take a stand. Somebody's coming in to take a stand. And they're going to try to defend themselves, this agent of darkness. It's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to accept what they're saying. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sorry. So they're going to be left feeling rejected because now they're boring. Lukewarm, placid, tepid, they're underwhelming, uninteresting. Whatever little argument they have is not going to be very compelling. They might not know that now because everybody else has been collaborating. People have gotten together and discussed this already. And it's been happening over the past 3 months. It's been something happening slowly in the background, but this stance or this loss of stature on this agent of darkness side, it's been slowly creeping in and it's insurmountable. It's too heavy for them. They can't combat it. So overall, an action was taken a week ago where a strategy came through, a plan. Somebody here owns the situation. There's somebody championing. And to a lesser degree, it might be a Sagittarius rising or a Virgo sun. It might be a Gemini rising. or a Virgo moon. But the way it reads is somebody is championing this for somebody else. And they have started to put things together, and the situation is going to reverse itself. See, the Two of Pentacles could be, it could also be compromise. It could be showing up, participating, and remaining present. It could be showing up, navigating, and negotiating, because you can see there's little shippies, there's little cute sips in the back there. But it talks about the seas of time as well. So it could talk about going through the timeline and reconciling things. With the Five of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, that's a revocation, reversal, withdrawal. Something got voided. Something got voided, power got taken back. And somebody got pinned down, restricted, restrictions and regulations. Yeah, somebody needs to, oh yeah, somebody's getting sanctioned here. Yeah, somebody's getting sanctioned here because there's receipts. And see, the thing about, if the Eight of Swords comes out before the Seven of Swords, especially with the Hermit, that's an investigation. So somebody found crimes and they're aware of it, and they're going to take some actions before they disclose. It's kind of like already having an indictment before you even found out that you were being brought up on charges. Sometimes they have secret indictments. This usually happens in certain areas or certain jurisdictions. It's a really big East Coast thing, New York, DC. I don't know if you're in America watching, but usually if you're being brought up on charges, you know about it. But there are a few circumstances where you'll be brought up on charges. There'll be 13, 16 people reviewing your crimes, reviewing the evidence, reviewing the receipts. And by the time you find out about it, you're already lost. You've already had a loss. Your assets are being seized. Your house is, being searched. Your privileges might have already been suspended. There are some times when you're, like, especially in the military, it's not like the regular criminal system where you have to prove your innocence. No, okay, we're gonna freeze your security clearance. We're gonna give you administrative suspension from work. You stay at home or in your own zip code, and don't call anybody from the industry. Don't share anything that's going on. And in fact, if you do that, it'll compound whatever punishment you do have coming. Even if you're found innocent, retroactively will make you innocent. But if you share anything, even if you have a proven innocent later, you'll still get slapped for sharing, for calling and manipulating and matriculating through your little network, your little address book. It's something like that. That's what's going on. Somebody has brought down the hammer, and they're kind of, it's a third party. We don't know who they are. They might be a Virgo moon, Virgo sun. They might be a Gemini rising or Sagittarius rising. But it's gonna pop very quickly. The situation is gonna expand very quickly, and it's gonna be adversarial to this person. And it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's already being decided. And it is gonna be spoken about globally. It is gonna be spoken about globally, okay? So the entire community, the entire industry is gonna know. The entire community, the entire industry is gonna know, because sweeping changes are gonna be made. It's a new blemish that everybody is gonna know about. Okay, so there's nothing to be done. This is not something that, when the Judgment and the World card come out together, that's literally, it's like, there's a government and it has its mechanisms, whatever, but there's a little part of the government that serves the person at the top. Yeah, we have the police and we have the feds and we have all the federal executive agencies, but then there's also the Secret Service, which is basically the president's police force. So that's what this is. This is the power structure at the very top by the person who pulls all the strings. It cannot be undone. There's a sign in the divination to stop doing divination, and it came out. Yeah. So what was this person trying to steal from us? Why were they getting ooga booga? We had inner knowledge. We just couldn't be completely victimized by them. And the reason they might be avenging is because we can bring them down. We can share what they did to us or what our experience was. And oh my gosh, clairsentience, remember who you are, overcoming difficulties, comfort, spread your wings outdoors, and gentleness. So comfort is Archangel Azrael. Okay, because this situation, know that your inner nature of purity, peace, bliss, it's going to repel demons. And with you in this time of need, helping your heart to heal. This is from the other side. So they're trying to soothe themselves instead of just saying like, wow, I was a toxic, malignant fuck. I know I'm being caught, but I'm also having an energy reprieve. I'm starting to repent. I'm starting to not like this life. And yeah, I might have some kind of punishment work coming, or I might need to make amends or to remedy the situation. But already in my own energy, already in my own nature, I'm wanting to have a correction on my own side. You know, there's a difference between remorse and regret. Remorse you would feel even if people didn't know what your crimes were. Poor baby. So we're going through, yeah, the angels have, we do, okay, so we might be the one starting this mechanism and everybody else is gonna pick it up and keep it moving, meaning they're gonna take it the rest of the way. So let's look at the life purpose here. What is our purpose in this situation? Okay, so this person was connected to us. They might have been a coworker, they might have been a family member, they might have been a neighbor, more than a friend. And we might have been in a community together. Like they could be your bowling buddy, your knitting buddy, your running buddy. It could also be a spiritual community. And see, we have a lot more discipline in this person, and we're able to articulate ourselves in a way that's better, and we're going places, and it's upsetting them. Well, honey, when you get restricted, because the Eight of Swords came out for them twice, that's restrictions, rules, and regulations. They had to be cordoned off, code switching, cordoned off. They had to be sequestered by the powers that be. We also are a reader of some kind. It doesn't necessarily mean oracle or tarot cards. Like me, I can piss on the ground and read it, do divination. I could rip a branch off a tree and cut it up and carve symbols in it. I can read chicken innards. I can read spider legs. I can read shells. You know, I can wet the ground and throw different kinds of salt and walk away and come back an hour later and I could divine that. I can do any, it's called claromancy. I do divination by omens. I'm an argumancer. I can read anything. Does that make sense? So we have this discernment that upsets them. Their shit worked on everybody else. And when they met us, there was something in us that was impenetrable. And it started a slow but steady souring in them. And the more they engaged with us, the more sour they became. And it eventually became the seed of the seed that they sowed of their own demise. Okay, so we have some kind of health and healing, and it feeds itself. So like even if we get wounded, we're self-healing. Something in us keeps kicking off abundance because we're in a healing energy. And they wanted support because they did something in the past that broke them. It limited their potential and it kind of stifled their path. And so they were looking at us as not as a blessing, but as some kind of something to be stolen so that they can return to glory. Well, if grandma leaves you money and you squander it, and so you go and try to steal the inheritance from your brothers and sisters, you're probably, money doesn't fix money problems. Just because you're poor all the time, if you get money doesn't mean you're not going to still be poor. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. And some people are ugly, and I'm not talking about their face. So this person has all of that going on. And that's what I got. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. If you can leave a donation, that would be amazing. And I'll talk to you soon, my dear. Please take good care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Healing, do rest and recovery. And just take some time, to nurse yourself and really heal yourself. Okay, honey. Bye. Ciao. Arrivederci. Au revoir. Sayonara. Wiedersehen. Das vidania.